There we are. I think we got this. Maybe. Technical difficulties,
Oh,
folks.
did it still flip?
Technical difficulties on Instagram, but we're going to make this work anyways. We're going to let that take care of itself over there. We got two people dealing with things, but hi, how are you? Happy Friday. It's Friday. We're going to do a painting tonight, and we have some inspiration from Bob Ross. So my name's Nicole. If you haven't been out to any of my classes, welcome. As Bob Ross would say, hi, welcome. And today we're going to be painting because everybody can paint because that's, you know, it's Bob Ross. I have a painting worked out for us to do, and I've got some colors. We're going to work with acrylics today, and I'm going to try my darndest to do some of the things that he would do. And if I can't remember them, you chime in and you tell me. So we'll do this together. We'll make a lot of fun. And I think that's what Bob Ross would want anyways, is just for us to hang out and have some fun together. So yeah, that's the plan. I see Cleveland's coming in. Yeah, hi Cleveland. Getting all set up on there. We'll figure this out, guys. We're on Facebook too, so if you want to say hi there, I can see you. Hi there. So to get us started, I just have a basic canvas. I've kind of sketched this out a little bit. It's a little bit hard to see, but I just got some mountains in the back, and this is kind of my horizon right in here. I've got a stream, some bushes, but that's not going to matter too much, to be honest, because we're going to flip it around and do some crazy stuff with it, because I don't think Bob Ross ever really sketched out anything. He just kind of did what he did. So we're going to get started with colors. I've got an array of them over here, and I also have, this is just a nice little, it's basically wax paper. I used to use this a lot when I was working with oils, and it works really well. The oil painting is probably my favorite, but for the sake of tonight and the fact that oil paints take forever to dry, we're going to stick with acrylic. So to get us started, I have some orange, chrome orange. So we're going to use that. We're kind of going to do a little bit of a sunset in the background. That's what I have in mind for this. So sunset needs some orange. It's going to need some red. Red. Ooh, that's a lot of red. That's okay. Gets messy already. Hence the apron. Next, I'm going to use some violet. And I have some pink to go in there. And I'm just kind of lining these up, and you kind of line them up in one way and down the other side, so you have the middle space to do a lot of your mixing. Again, this is just like parchment paper or wax paper. If you bake, there's tons of it. You can use the same stuff, so don't feel like you have to go and get fancy with any of this. Acrylic paint is cheap. Brushes are cheap. Probably the most expensive part of this whole thing is the canvas, and the canvas, honestly, you can get things really cheap on there too. Oh, we've got Instagram going live now too. So hi guys, Bob Ross night, woohoo! We're doing a quick recap of some painting supplies that we're gonna have tonight. So I've got my canvas over here. Bear with us, Facebook. Got my canvas over here. I've got some orange, some purple, some red, some pink, and these are all acrylics. And now we're gonna throw down, I think, probably use some white, Got to thin it out a little bit, light and dark, right? So, ooh, a little messy. So I got some whites. Let's go with, this is some phthalo blue. Can't talk words. Don't worry about it. Bob Ross would never worry about it. He's such a chill dude. Definitely helps with everything. Some more blue. This is ultramarine blue. So this is a little bit different, a little bit darker, but I think it'll be a nice way to mix things in. Ooh, it has a cap on it still. Goodness. I tried to be all ready for you guys, but apparently painting gods have to be appeased in some way. All right, so now I got ultramarine blue. Get some emerald green. Ooh, you know, I think I'm gonna also need a little bit of yellow. If I could get some yellow from my backup. Forgot the yellow. Oops. Ah, yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, team. So this is burnt umber, just a little bit of dark. I don't like using black a lot, but I find burnt umber kind of deepens the color without going too crazy. So we're going to use that and some yellow. All right, so I got all my colors. Just shift those over that way. So in case I need some more, I'm set, I'm ready. So real quick recap: orange, red, purple, pink, whites, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, burnt umber, green, emerald green. Ooh, fancy. And then some yellow. Okay. Paintbrush wise, pretty simple, pretty easy. I got this big, like 1.5 to 2-inch brush right here. Not too much to it. I feel like it's in the spirit of Bob Ross, though. Coloring of it and everything. Oh, hi, Cleveland. Is it good to paint on wax paper, he asks. Honestly, if you're using acrylic, you can, but you don't want to move it around too much because since it doesn't have anything to bond to, it's going to just crack off and flake off. So it's not bad to paint on, per se, as long as you got a good bond. It's not a medium I would typically use. Honestly, if you're painting at home and you don't feel like you have anything, go back in your garbage and you can use cardboard boxes, cereal boxes, whatever. Just paint it white so that way you have a white canvas and now you have more canvas board to paint on. So that's kind of what I've been doing. It works. This is the fancy. I'm getting to use the fancy tonight. So, so yeah, about 1.5 inch brush. I've got an inch brush here. I've got a nice big fluffy guy. Kind of grabbed it just in case. I thought maybe he'd be good for some happy bushes and, you know, happy trees. Thought it'd be a good mix. Oh, hi. Thanks for joining, guys. And then here I've got a 1/2 inch brush. Again, mostly because it's a flat brush. I just kind of wanted it to use it just in case if I need some sharp lines, sharp edges. I don't think I will, but we'll see. Maybe for mountains. Who knows? And then I also grabbed another smaller fluffy brush. And then for the artist, because, you know, need some inspiration, we've got our lovely Bob Ross. He's here in spirit. Thanks, dude. I'm gonna stick him over here, so he's gonna keep an eye on me while I work on all of this. Big old thing of water. Probably I'll have to do a refresh of water at some point, but me. And then for the artist herself, I have a glass of wine for myself because, I mean, I feel like that's what artists do. I have a glass of wine while they do this. So cheers. Happy Friday. I'm Nicole, Art Space. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Like actually painting and stuff. And then for the sake of being healthy, because I think we all need to be healthy right now, I made some kombucha. That's been my little joy in the last few weeks. It's not bad. It's not quite as fizzy as my last few batches, but this is a berry kombucha. So I made it with strawberries, blueberries, and blackberries. So it's very sweet. Yeah. Good. Definitely try the cardboard and all of that, Cleveland. It works really well. Plus, it's edgy. Got that raw edge to it. Works really nice. Oh, I am Hodges Art. Hi. Hi, guys. Glad you're here. Got all of this on a tiny little screen for Instagram, and I can see everything much bigger because it's a laptop. We're working with what we have. So let's go. Let's do the thing. So I'm going to take this fairly fat, about inch brush. I'm gonna get it wet. And I want to make a beautiful sunset. So sunset, you've got what? Red, some orange, some yellow, and then it fades away to the nice blue in the back, so like blues and purples. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with some yellow and just go about in here. Drippage. Oh, you guys on Instagram still need to see this. Shh. Camera crew. Oh, camera crew. Oh, can you help me on Instagram? Yes. Just so that way they can see the. Yes. There we are. All right. So I got some yellow here. It's a little bit watery. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Honestly, what I love to do, because I just get it dry on the apron. Meh. So we got some yellow. We'll fade that out with a little bit of orange. Just around the edges. We'll start to blend it together. It's a lot of color already, huh? Some pinks. And I'm just putting some paint on the canvas for right now. You're not going to get anywhere with painting if you don't put the paint on the canvas, to be honest. So put it on. It can be scary. Don't worry about it. And now I'm just going to kind of use the brush and mix it a bit and go back in with a little bit more yellow and get a nice fade. So you can start to see the sunset start to happen. Now, bring that color all the way down, okay? The whole canvas. Because yes, we're going to put in trees. Yes, we're going to put in a stream. Little happy bushes, happy trees. But we're also having this river, the stream. And this works really well because this will start to reflect these colors in the water. So the water will act as a mirror. So it works really well. Plus this is his technique. This is what he would do. So we're listening to Bob. We're listening to Bob's and his lessons that he's taught us in life. So I'm going to add some more pink around the edges and keep blending and blending. If there's any ladies out there, those makeup, the makeup stuff, you know how that works. Keep blending and blending. You blend forever on those eyebrows, on those eyelids. But we do what we do, right? I'm going to keep blending these colors down. And I think we're going to do a little bit. I'm going to wash my brush. Here we go. It's first Bob Ross part, right? You ready? Gotta beat the devil out of it. That's fun. All right, so beat the devil out of it. And I'm gonna mix a little bit down here. Some white and a little bit of the lighter blue, the phthalo blue. I don't need a lot of it because I'm gonna start getting deeper and deeper in the color. Yes, Lily. Hi, Lily. Happy to have you. Thanks for showing up. Yes, you know how blending works. Oh, the blending. Keep blending, blending, blending. So I'll come around on the edge work with the lighter blue. Looks a little funny right now. Don't worry about it. You're good. We'll blend some more. Just nice strokes across. It's a dry brush technique, technically, what you're doing, because the brush is mostly dry other than the paint that's on here, and the canvas is dry, so it's a dry on dry technique. It works well. I'll come back in with a little bit more pink. Oh, hi, Daniel. Hi. Oop. Some more pink around the edges. Blend and blend. Just blend to when you're happy. Blend to your heart's content. A little bit. I'm going to put some more orange in here. It's almost got a red consistency. I thought it looked cool. Just imagine how Bob would be so happy of us doing paintings like this together. You know? He'd love it. I'm going to use a little bit of water just to thin out the paint a little bit. Let it blend a little bit easier. Now, typically, I would usually probably work with acrylic, or with, not acrylic, with oil. Just because I prefer oil. You can work with it and it lasts a really long time and will stay wet for a really long time, which is great when you're trying to do pieces for a length of time. Acrylic is nice in the way that it dries pretty quickly. But since it dries pretty quickly, you kind of have to work pretty quickly. So I'm just getting around the edges so that way when we're done with our painting, it doesn't look so silly. It's really annoying when you look at a painting and it stops like halfway. Ugh. Just blending, bringing that color down. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker with the blue right in here. And we're just going to mix. Just blend it down. Blend it out, guys. Remember, this is going to go down into the water. Oof. I'm going to use my left hand because it's just a little bit easier right now. It's a lot of blending, a lot of brush work. So there's a little bit in here. Just enjoy it. Don't make this a lot of work. This is for fun. Is it pleasing to your eye? Are you enjoying the brush? Then you're doing right. I'll use a little bit darker blue now. I think it was called the Ultramarine Blue. I'll come back in here. I'm just going to do little dabs, and then I'm going to blend it all out. So that way I don't use too much paint, but I'm still getting the same effect that I want. And chime in if you guys have questions, because I can't read everything. I can't see these things. So I want you to feel like you can take part, okay? Answer those questions, burning questions you have about oil, about art space, makeup. Hi, Rosie. Happy to have you. Thanks for coming. It was really cool because I did this last week with the watercolors, and we got so many people that showed up. It was amazing. I loved it. Now we're going to come down here at the very bottom, and I'm going to use some purple. And again, we're just going to finish off the bottom of the canvas. The deep blue purple color. Okay? And keep blending. Also, don't forget to have your wine. Where's water, sparkling water, scotch? It's Friday. You pick your poison, right? Just enjoy. That's the idea. I don't think Bob Ross ever really drank. I don't think he was for it, but that may have just been the time. It may have been his personal preference. Excuse me. Sorry. I hope everybody's healthy. I am, except for this cough because I'm allergic to tree pollen. And guess what? The trees are going nuts out there. So, lots of allergy pills for me. Benadryl is my friend right now. All right. So I got a nice color going on right here. I'm just blending real soft. I'll rinse out my brush. And I think I'm going to use a little bit more maybe on my sunset itself. I really like the colors down here that have happened. That looks awesome. But my yellow, my sun, just still needs a little bit, I think. So then get up here, beat the devil out of it. It's so much fun. Now I see why he likes to do it. So I'll come back in. Yellow is a really hard color sometimes to work with, just because it can go really funky, really fast. I don't know how to better describe it. Just, it can get funky. It likes to blend really easily with other colors. And it doesn't have a lot of pigment itself. So it can just get really mixed and blend really like browns almost sometimes. That looks nice. Do a little bit more pink up here to blend it into the sky. This is nice. Pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry, I'm in the way, but trying to also see what I'm working on here. Come in. I've got a little bit of spots on the very top. Just gonna put a little bit of that color in there. It's a little green. Whoop, 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 whoop. A little more blue. Lovely. Blending, blending, blending. Just relax. Most of this is going to get kind of covered up in different one way or another, so there's no pressure about it, guys. Meh. think it's international, can't tell exactly, International Art Group. Hi. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. Kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure you guys are doing some stuff here too, but thanks for coming out and checking us out too. I see. Cool. We go together. We go together. Birds of a feather, right? I'm just using some more of the pink and some more of the orange. Just keep softening that sunset. Sunsets, think of Chicago. If you guys live in Chicago, Chicago sunsets are pretty freaking awesome. They have so many different colors in them. So vibrant. Got a little piece brush. Sometimes that happens. Just brush it out. Now, I'm pretty happy with that sunset. Pretty good with that. Soft, inviting, warm. Feels good to me. So I'm good with that. Ooh, skyline on wood with watercolor Cleveland. That sounds really cool. Kind of curious. Send us photos because I want to see how that worked. I want to see how you did that. Because we could do something like that here, and I think that would be really neat. We have so much wood around construction on the building. I think it'd be really cool. So let me know. Delish. All right, so we've got our beautiful sunset. Now, the next thing I think we're going to add is we need some mountains in here. So that means we're going to need some white. We're going to need some of our burnt umber. And we're probably going to do a little bit of mix the two. So you guys ready? All right. So I'm just going to use the same brush to get it mixed. And then we're going to use this big fat guy to make that nice mountain. So give you guys the view of the paintbrush and the water down here. Or not the water, the actual palette. So clean off that brush a bit. All right, so now we're going to come in here, some white, probably a lot of white. And then when you're working with white and you're mixing colors, you really only want to do a little bit of your darker color at a time, because otherwise, you're just gonna end up with a big blob of one particular color that you're not happy with. So I'm going to literally just take the edge of my brush, just a tiny little corner, and just dip a little smidgen of the brown, and the burnt umber, and I'm gonna mix that into my white and see where I feel that is. Like, am I happy with that? Is it too much? Is it too little? Looking at it right now, it feels like it's a little bit too little. So I'm adding a little more. Again, little bits at a time. Ooh, there we go. That seems like a good mountainish color. Starting to get there. Some outside noise traffic. Don't worry about it. All good. Put away, guys. Do a little bit more. Again, just little bits. All right, so I've got a nice kind of mid-ground color, midway between white and umber. So I'm just going to set this off to the side because it's still loaded with paint, so we can still use that. Waste not, want not. Use your paint. It's loaded. Now I'm going to come in here with this guy. It's a little bit stiff brush, so I'm going to get it wet and just work the bristles a little bit, so maybe a little less stiff. want to work the excess moisture out, but let it be damp. And I'm just going to dip the tip of the brush in some burnt umber. Just like that. Just the tip. Thanks, Cleveland. You're my guy. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to mark it kind of where that mountain's going to be. Nice little ridges. No slope off down here. Maybe they get a little bit bigger again. More like mountain, more hilly over here. So once we got that kind of marked out, look how nice that looks, guys. Yeah, right? Bob Ross would be proud. Now I'm going to just dip the tip of the brush again in the burnt umber. And I'm going to let the brush do the work. Put it on that spot and just drag it down. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is such a satisfying sound. Coming the other way. Just wet the brush with the burnt umber. See if I can't do this left-handed a little bit for you guys, because I know I'm right-handed, so that can be a little difficult to see. We're going to try to be ambidextrous. Ha-ha! Practice, right? Just keep drawing it down. Let the paintbrush do the work. We're just drawing out where our mountains are going to be. Our little hill. Again, just rewetting, just the tips. Let it have that texture from the brush. Mountains are rugged, majestic. Let it have it. It's okay. Any of you have been to see the Appalachian Mountains or the Rocky Mountains? I got the chance to go to Colorado a couple of years back, and that was quite an experience. We got to go up on Trail Ridge Road, and it's like the highest road, or the highest elevated road in the United States, and it's really cool. And I got to go on it right before it closed for the season. It was beautiful. I got to go up like 12,000 feet in above sea level, and just look out and you saw all the beautiful mountains around you. It's really amazing. So now we've got some texture in our mountains. Now I'm going to go in with that lighter umber that we mixed with the white. And again, just loading the brush, just the tip of the brush, and just let it streak. Let the mountains have their texture. They're mighty, they're grand, they're beautiful. Let them have it, okay? I'm going to use a little bit of the brush that I used here to mix. And again, just going to load up the brush. Same thing. Give it that texture. Beautiful mountains. hoping you guys get to see some of those mountains someday. They're awesome. Can't say anything else, but just seeing it in person is so much better. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and just clean this brush that we loaded up with paint, because I feel like those mountains are pretty good. They've got some nice texture to it. You can see everything kind of coming down off of it. So I'm going to clean off my brush. It's a lot of water, a lot of paint. Oop. Now I'm going to come in with a 1/2 inch brush. And I'm going to use the white and just give mountains some snow tips. It's a little bit snowy up there. It's a little bit cold. I can tell you, being up 12,000 feet, it is quite cold up there. It's quite cold. Pull that up so I don't get paint on me. Acrylic paint does stain, folks, so you do want to cover up if you can. Wear some older clothes. I've got this nice frock apron. I typically wear painting clothes when I paint at home because it's messy, but it's so wonderful. The part they don't show you on Bob Ross is beyond the splatter paint, like from when they beat the devil out of the brush. That studio's got to be a hot mess, I gotta tell you. Especially from working with oil. I kind of have a feeling it was a hot mess. So I'm just adding the snow tips. And softening the tips of the mountain a little bit. It's in the distance. Add a little bit of ridges with the white to kind of highlight things. You're not sure where they go? Don't worry about it. Neither did the mountains. They had no clue. They just formed and did what they felt like it was right. So that's all we're going to do. Do what feels right. Got a nice snow tip there. Looks quite nice. Looks quite nice. So we're gonna come down over in this guy, and let's say he's got some base caps just kind of going off in that corner. Remember, there's no real straight lines in nature, so you don't have to make it perfect. You don't have to make it exact. Just go with it, okay? Embrace the imperfections that you might have. I'm going to go in a little bit with some burnt umber and just hit the other side a little bit and give it some texture working down. So we've got our light and our dark side of the mountain. Oh, we got some people out there. Hi! Got some people that are coming around, walking around on the street. They're just saying hi. Nice. Nice. So I'm gonna come back in, get back in here with some more of the burnt umber and just do some shadow work. A little bit of shadows. Just enjoy it. It's not perfect. I know I'm not too terribly happy with that side over there, but who cares? I'm gonna put a little happy tree over there, just like Bob Ross would. Yeah, that's the plan. Haha. He'd be so proud of us. Oh, also, wine break. It's important. All right. So, oh, okay, we have to take photos here, so. Of course, photo time, photo ops. I'm not very photogenic. I'm told I am, but I don't think my photo is being taken very much. I do it because I have to. I'm required. It's part of the employment. All right. So we've got our mountains in here. We've got our sunset. So creamy and delicious. I love it. It's like a really good tiramisu. Creamy and delicious. Yes. Back into the kombucha though. Trying to hydrate better this time. Last week I didn't hydrate so well. By the end of the class I was dying, so got to make sure I take care of myself, right? Oh, hey Simon. Yay! And Jake. Hi Jake. Hi guys. Woo! All right. So we're gonna work on the next part. So this is gonna be some trees. So we need to make a little place, a little island for the trees to live. So we're gonna come in here and just use some of the burnt umber and some of the green. Oh, hi! I know you. Thanks for tuning in. My friends are all popping in here and there, and it's, you know, this is just fun time. This is just fun time for me. Painting, drinking, Bob Ross. I get paid for this, guys. This is great. Again, I'm going to use some of the emerald green and burnt umber, and I'm going to mix these two colors together so that way I can get a darker green, okay? Gotta clean that brush. Can't stand having dirty brushes, especially when I go to like grab something and it's dirty still. Ugh. I guess that's the years of being in the kitchen for me. Yes. So we have classes pretty much every Friday. It's Friday. That's my time. But we also have kids classes on, what is it, Saturday, and then there's the fine arts classes on Tuesday. So we've got classes, and we're doing them virtually right now. And there's private lessons too, so adults and kids, everybody can do this. It's really cool. But you can, if you don't have the supplies for the class, let us know, because we can do little doggy bags and you can pick them up and just grab them that way. It's super cool. Hi, Jose. What's up, dude? Nice. It's really cool though, because you can just grab the little to-go bags and then go home and do your class on Zoom with us. It's really nice. Definitely try it. Something to keep yourself busy, feel artistic. And hey, if you want me, you can always request me. I don't care. We'll do art together. We'll do the same thing. This is just fun time. Let's go ahead and get painting some more though. Gotta give myself breaks. Hi. All right. So again, think we're going to switch it up. I think I'm going to use the big fluffy brush. I feel like that would be pretty good for doing an island kind of feel. So I'm going to come back in, palette, get some brown in here. And I totally broke my own rule and I went dark first. So forgive me. Always go lighter color, then go darker color. But I kind of need a lot of green, so it might work out in the end. Ooh, that's a nice green. Nice and deep. I think I still am going to add a little bit more of the burnt umber to it though. Just because I want it a little bit deeper, and then I can lighten it some more and do a lighter green from the same batch. Lovely. So I'm imagining in my head right here is kind of where the line is for the horizon. So doing that, that means I kind of want a little bush or a little island set through in here. So I'm just going to use my brush and just dab. It's okay if the blue comes through. It doesn't matter. If anything, it'll add some really nice depth into your green. Move that out of the way. Rah. Don't worry about it. Just nice fluffy brush. Nice, beautiful green. And I'm just going to use the same brush and just soften the edges a little bit. Actually, I think I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller fluffy brush and just use that dry to fluff that into the water and into the mountain as well. Because we've got lots of paint in there. So I think that'll work out pretty well doing that. Yeah, totally did. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents, right? So I'm going to do another little island just over here. Load up my brush some more. Might have to mix a little bit different shade of green. Yeah, this brush really sucks it up. Definitely. All right. On that brush. We'll go ahead and use the smaller fluffy brush. Again, green. Little dab of the burnt umber. Like I said, I don't like using black. Black's too deep of a color and it doesn't really add anything. It doesn't add any depth or richness to it. It just goes dark and that's it. So we don't want that. We don't want that. We want color. We want depth. We want richness. I cook a lot, so I guess it's kind of like having a steak with A1 sauce, medium, like just cooked, well done, shoe leather. Sorry to people who like their steaks well done, but it's like well done steak with A1 sauce versus, you know, beautifully cooked with butter and garlic, rosemary. It's just different. It's a different flavor. So getting that nice green again, deep. Come back in, like I said. I'm gonna add a little bit more of that burnt umber. Yes. You want like a hunter green, I guess. I feel like that's a good wood color. Simon, I feel like your kids would love this. Oh, Elizabeth! Oh, hi! Hey, lady. Elizabeth is one of the art instructors here for the kids. She's delightful. Oh, I neglected to mention, so we're also an art gallery. So you can see up on the wall over here, or here on Facebook, we're an art gallery. So we actually host different artists too. So you can, if you are a Chicago, or not even a Chicago, if you're an artist and you feel like, hey, maybe this is my chance to get some of my stuff out there, let us know, because we do that. We actually have, we've been doing live art gallery openings. So that way, live as in via internet, Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, all of the things. So that way we can get your pieces out there. So you can totally, it's viable. We're working with this. I'm gonna rinse my brush. And if you're not very handy with colors, there is a cute, pretty easy little trick. You buy it, but there's one of these little circles, which is super cool because if you want one of these like deeper colors, it'll tell you what exactly to add to mix to get that color. I don't particularly use them, but that's also just because I've been doing painting stuff for a while. So don't worry about it. If you feel like you want to just go for it, it's not a requirement, but if you're feeling like you need some help, it does help. So I'm just drying off my brush a little bit, and then I'm going to soften this edge with the dry brush. Just using the brush, let the brush do the work. Coming down into the water, into the edge. That looks really nice. We've got our water coming through there. We're going to use a little bit of the yellow. And now we're going to lighten that same bit of green that we were using. Excuse me, I need to cough. Yeah, that happens. So I'm going to use a little bit of the yellow and just lightening to get a lighter green from that hunter green that we were using. I'm just going to come around in here towards the front. Might be. Wait, there we go. Okay. And I'm just using that light green because the grass is never one color. There's highlights, there's lowlights, there's little pieces of brush and brown and yuckies. Think of the woods. There's lots of stuff in there. So I'm just adding that a little here and there. Oh, hi guys. I see lots of you are jumping in and saying hi, so hi back. Hi to Sarah. That's Audrey's niece. Audrey's my camera crew. She's just off camera right now, so she here. Audrey says hi too. And Lauren. Hi, Lauren. Just using that lighter green from the hunter green that we made. I'm just adding in. And I add a little bit more yellow so that way it has lots of different shades. Oh, thanks, Elizabeth. I did my makeup. Figured if I was going to be going live on computer, internet, you kind of have to make it look like you tried a little bit. So, thanks. Appreciate all when people notice. Oh, hi, Shenzhen. Hope you're feeling a little better. You know, his allergies were going a little nuts, so hopefully he's feeling a bit better. Use a little bit of the burnt umber towards the back and just dabbing that in. No more sniffles. I'm glad you're feeling better. All right. So that looks pretty good right now. Pretty happy. It's nice and dry up on the top. I think my mountains are still a little damp. I can kind of see some of the moisture in there. So wine break. Quick, everybody. If you have a glass of wine, sparkling water, whatever your poison is, wine break. Quick, everybody. Quick. Fling. Or diet soda, whatever. You know what I mean. I'm doing this together. So I've got my lovely mountains, sunset. I've got some land from my trees and bushes to go on. What do you think, guys? Do you think it's time for some trees? I think it's time for some trees. Yeah? I feel like it's time. Hydrate. Hydrate. I have to balance the wine with like actual liquid so that way I stay hydrated during all of this. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush again just because that's my job. Clean brushes. Can't not have that. Beat the devil out of it. All right. I'm going to ask my camera crew off to the side to get me some fresh water so that way I stop making such a mess. So, gonna get some trees. It's tree time. Yes, happy trees. I love this part. So, trees are pretty simple. Pretty easy to do for painting techniques. You're gonna literally take a nice flat brush, 1.5 inches, half inch. This one's a 1/2 inch flat brush, flat tip, and I'm gonna put it straight into the burnt umber. Thank you. Just load the tip of the brush. You don't want a ton of paint in there, but you want the tip to be wet. Okay? Okay, so since I didn't very much like my little mountain over here, I'm gonna use a tree to cover it up because that's what Bob would do. He says it's a happy accident, right? No mistakes, only happy accidents. It'll look great later. So I'm just gonna use and go straight up. Straight up. Reload the brush. And you can't have one tree by himself lonesome. He needs a friend. We all need friends. So I'm gonna come over here, do a little bit thicker. Big tree. Yeah. Just like that. Hi, Damien. Got Damien Nelson. He's an artist. Thanks for coming. Maybe you can throw some tips out to us while we're doing this. Or, you know, Cleveland, he's one of our viewers. He likes to paint too. So what do you like to paint? What do you like to do? What's your medium? Do you feel like getting your artwork up on the gallery up in here? Because that's an option. Yeah. So we got our little happy trees over here. That looks pretty nice. I'm happy with those guys. I think they need one more friend though. Because three's company. Three's good company. So I'll load up my brush again, just the tip. I'll come down here. Make this guy a little bit thicker because he is closer. He is closer to the foreground of our painting. So he can be a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger. Just like that. It's pretty relaxing. Just let the trees be there. Let them enjoy themselves. I'm gonna come over in this spot over here now and put another tree or two there. I think we're gonna go smaller. These guys are gonna be in the distance, farther in the distance. So just do shorter, not quite as fat. Still happy. Marcella, hi Marcella. Glad you could come. Shout out. Hope you're enjoying our little Bob Ross night together. We'll put another little happy tree over here. A little cluster. I think we might do another one a little bit closer to the water over here too. So I'll put this guy, my happy little spot right there. Make sure I'm not getting any paint on myself. That happens. That looks pretty good. Some little trees in there. So those are just the trunks. And now we're gonna make some darker green again. So that way we can go in like a hunter green and we can make, these are gonna be conifer trees. So they're gonna be big pine trees and stuff. There's a ton of pine trees in Colorado once you get to a certain point, a certain elevation, tons and tons and tons of pine trees. It's really cool. And fun fact, I'm not allergic to pine trees, so thank goodness. I'm not allergic to these either. I'm going to say hi to Lily Rose, and it looks like Instagram is going to make me take a break, so I'll come right back. Ha. So Instagram's making me take a short break. We're going to go live back on there again. So give me a second, and then we'll get back into our trees. So wine, enjoy. This just happens. Technical difficulties, right? So yes. See who else is joining us tonight on Facebook. I know Cleveland was there. Let's see. Anybody else watching us on Facebook? You want to chime in? Think we're good? We're getting Instagram back? Yes, and we're live again. Yes, welcome back. For whatever reason, Instagram decided that we needed to stop where we were right then. So, oh well. We're back. We're back. Oh, hi, Lizette. I see you. Cleveland's still here. I'm glad you're still there, Cleveland. We wanted to make sure our Instagram, we got everything situated. Think we're good. Think we're good. Everybody happy? Everybody good? Wine, beer, cocktails, water, set. Hello again, Simon. Thanks. All right. So we're going to mix again. We're going to go back into some of our darker green. We don't want to do it the same green as what's in here. So we're going to try to go a little bit darker. Just imagine what a pine tree, like how that would feel, okay? So again, emerald green. I'm just going to make a big old splotch of it. Use whatever I have because I've got more off to the side, so who cares, right? And then I'm going to add a little bit of my burnt umber. Mix those together. See what we get. Oh, yes. Yes. Private message me. We'll talk. Genius. All right. Making our green. There we go. Some nice hunter green. I might add a little bit of the ultramarine blue as well, just because I want to deepen it. So that's, I'm gonna come in again, just the corner, just the tip, just the corner little tip. Mix that in. Get a nice green. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's a very delightful green. Now, there is a thing, and this is the only thing I think I've ever disagreed with Bob Ross about. Bob Ross has a tendency, he likes to use fan brushes. And I have been taught by many, many artists and many art instructors that you should never really use fan brushes. There's this constant debate between artists about this. I'm on the side that you don't use it, but if you want to use it, go for it. In my opinion, fan brushes are only for your highlighter on your face, but you do you, okay? It's fine. So I'm going to use my 1/2-inch brush again, just like this. I'm going to load up the tip, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to let the brush do the work and just make dabs. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a tree. Trees do what they want. They go all over. They do nuts. Oh, yes, put your pushback. However you artists feel about the fan brushes, please come on. Let me hear what your arguments are. I want to know, okay? Like I said, it's just because how I grew up painting, and all of high school art instructors, everybody. Oh, hi. We've got people walking by outside saying hello. Little ones too. Oh, fun. Fun. So I'm going to bring it all the way down. I'm just going to let the texture of the brush come alive. Oh, Lizette and Sophia, hi. Hi there. It's kind of cool hearing your name shout out in the middle of this stuff, isn't it? So that's one of our trees. Looks great. So let's use our same green. Same thing. Give some of our tree friends something to keep them warm. Keep them warm, keep them cozy. If this was Colorado, it would still be pretty chilly up at this height. So they need something. They need something. So I got this guy. I'm just making dabbing motions. I would imagine you could probably even use like a Q-tip. That would work pretty well. It's really just the texture that you want. I've used Q-tips instead of paintbrushes, and it totally works. I mean, you got two sides to the Q-tip, so you actually have a lot you can work with. Again, apologies, I've got allergies, and the trees outside are very pretty and very much pollinating. Just let a little bit of our mountain come through in the back. I'm going to use the same green, and I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in there, just so I can lighten it a little bit and add a little bit of depth into our trees here. Sun's over here, so this is where our light source is. So you want to kind of put the lighter colors on this side of the tree, okay? And then on the right side, my right should be your right too. You're going to make sure that's where the darker colors are going to go. So use your highlight color, your lighter colors closer to the source of light. And your darker colors as your shadow on the other side. So you don't even need a lot, honestly. I'm just adding a little bit because it's sunset. There's not a lot of light coming from the sun at this point. So don't worry. Now we're going to come over here on the other side. Same thing. Do that. I'm going to use some of the dark green that we had before. Same stuff. Mixed a lot of it. And come in here. Just back and forth motions, basically. Thank you. Allergies. Apologies. Ugh. Okay. Back and forth. Back and forth. If you want to go a little heavier on one side, go for it. It's a happy little tree, hanging out, doing tree things. He's got his tree buddies over here. Grab a little bit more of the green. Just happy. Happy to be alive. Happy to be hanging out with us. If you've never watched Bob Ross before, I know it's kind of like a generational thing, but he's a really cool dude. You should totally check him out. I think he's got like some shows, all of his shows from PBS is now on, I think it's on Netflix. It's either Netflix or Amazon Prime. So it's really nice. You can just throw it on in the background and it's super relaxing. He'll talk about himself during it. He was in the Army at one point and he really hated it, but that's what you did at the time. It was required. So he went through it. He got yelled at all the time by the drill sergeants. It was awful. He really wanted to lash out. But he found his own little like personal peace inside of himself. And the painting is after he got out of the Army really helped. And that was how he found his center and his balance. So it was really cool. He's a really neat dude. He worked with public broadcasting shows, PBS, and that's how he got all of his stuff out there. His studio was super small, so it's basically the art version of Mr. Rogers. And, you know, we all know how we feel about Mr. Rogers. Such a sweet dude. So Bob Ross is basically the art version of Mr. Rogers, and his paintings today are worth so much. And at the time, he didn't really make much of anything off of it. So it's really interesting how that worked out. I believe at one point most of his paintings were actually stolen out of a van that he was driving across country with and going from studio to studio. So they lost a lot of the paintings. I think they have since recovered most of them, but that was really cool how that happened. And then they've come up with this like whole Bob Ross icon, right? I mean, literally, they've got little stuff out there like this now, and they've got his own artwork. His fans want his family to still to
all 30,000 paintings.
Oh, wow. Wow, his family still wants to sell all of the paintings. The fans want them, yeah. So the fans from the show, from watching him, they want the paintings that he did for themselves. They're willing to buy it off the family. So it's really neat. He's got like this cult following, basically. So his family ended up making all of these art supplies, and they're just like Bob Ross supplies, and they've got his name all over it. And fun fact, the little perm, the little afro that he's got, he actually hated it. Yeah, he hated it. It was something that I guess his daughter recommended that he do, so that way he had some sort of image that was very pronounced that people would easily recognize. And I mean, it worked. We easily recognize who Bob Ross is. But yeah, he wasn't a big fan of his own hair, so bless him for putting up with it for as long as he did. These are just random facts that I've found out about him over the years from painting. I can't say they're 100% historically accurate, but because I don't have the actual where things are quoted from, but I've watched a couple of little documentaries here and there from him, and he's a cool dude. He really is. He's very inspirational and very relaxing. So I'm hoping he's relaxing to you through, I'm channeling the Bob Ross for you tonight. That's my hope. So I'm going to go back in with the trees because I blather on sometimes. So I guess that's kind of what he did too. Stream of consciousness. Hopefully you enjoy my stream of consciousness. Godzilla. The correct response to Godzilla is Mothra, because the two should always be together. The two monsters should always be together. A little shout out for, you know, some Godzilla fans. Godzilla! Ah! I loved watching those when I was a kid with my brother. So I got my little happy trees over in here. Let's use some of that lighter green, just so that way we've got our highlights on the one side. Add a little bit more of our blue into our very deep green that we were using. So that way we can get a nice shadow color for the other side of our tree. Just add some texture. Just adding a little texture here and there. Lots of texture to trees. Yes, yes, my friends. My happy little tree friends. That looks delightful. All right. So now I'm going to come in with my big fluffy brush again. I'm going to see if I can't save. Oh, yeah. Save so much paint off of that. Waste not, want not. All right. So we need some bushes for our happy little tree friends now, right? This is what we need. So let us go a little bit deeper, a little bit darker green, not much. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, we want the lighter.
This one?
Yeah. That one works too. My tech crew wants to make sure I look my absolute prettiest. And I'm just blotting in where bushes would go. Okay? Happy little bushes. I'm using what greens I have. I'm going to use some of the umber, the brown color, the burnt umber. I might even use a little bit of orange. That toasty color for the bushes. We'll see. See how we're feeling. Got some greens. I know there's so many different greens in this one. So many different greens. But that's what happens in the woods. It's lush, it's gorgeous, vibrant. Use a little yellow. Ooh, that's bright. Tone that down a little bit. We'll just keep mixing. Yes, like that. Some bushes. Happy little bush for our tree friends. They're having a little party out there in the woods, guys. And they invited us. How fun. Yeah. Now I'm going to clean off my brush a little bit. And I'm just going to use some white. Just to lighten it. Especially when you're close to the river. Mix it all together. Get a nice texture going. And if you don't like it, you know the best part about paint is, especially working with acrylic paint, if you don't like how it's looking, you can add more paint. Just let it dry and add more paint. It's so great. I love that fact. So don't feel like you messed up. Don't feel like you're stuck with what you have. You've got options, okay? It's probably one of my favorite things about painting is like you can just work with what you have till you get how you want it. And even when you think you messed up, you can keep going and use that mistake, and it's not a mistake anymore. Like, it works really well. He wasn't kidding when he said there's no such thing as accidents, or no such thing as mistakes, only happy accidents. So I used a little bit of white in here to kind of lighten it up, brighten it up. I'm going to do the same thing now here on the other side towards the front. I will pop that out a little bit. Yeah. Just blending it, patting it. Trying to get this to pop out just a little bit more so that way I can get, it's fine. Totally fine. NBD. Just blending, softening things as it gets farther away. Using a little bit of that same green and white, I'm just dabbing things because our river's there. It's beautiful, vibrant, just like you are. Didn't think I was going to go there, did you? I'm going to use a little bit more white and just get in here. Right where I said those highlights were. Same thing. Make those trees really pop out. Each one is an individual and wonderful, just like human beings. Now, I did do a short meditation last week towards the end of class, and please chime in if you'd be interested in doing that. It's just a short one, maybe 5 minutes, and just guide you through. We're not quite done yet, but I'd still like to ask how you guys are feeling about it if you want to do one with me. So use your comments because I can read everything. So let me see what you guys are feeling, what you're thinking about it, okay? It's just a 5-minute quick meditation, relaxing. Thanks, Cleveland. Appreciate it. So just keep them working, keep them blending. Soft, pretty, beautiful. Just like all of us. I know times can be a little bit rough right now, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. We have people around us. You're not alone. Everything you're feeling is completely valid, normal for the new normal. It's natural, so it's okay. If you're feeling a little stressed, meh, everybody is, so you're within norm. Don't worry about it, guys. It's okay. I can only imagine what Bob Ross would be thinking about all of this if he were still alive today. He'd be like, man, this is a little crazy. But he really believed in people and what they could do. And really, I mean, he really wanted painting to be accessible to everybody. So in fact, one of his fans wrote in during the show and said that they were colorblind, so they couldn't really paint any of the paintings that he was suggesting to do. So he decided that he was going to paint a strictly black and white and gray photo, like painting, just so that way that person could do that. And they did. They worked on the painting. It worked out. I think that person ended up sending the photo of their things in, and it was a pretty good painting. Google it. was good painting. Got our trees, got some bushes. I think I need a little bit of highlights in that water just to make it pop out a little, get some sparkles. So I'm gonna wash my brush because my brush is a little dirty from using that burnt umber. Beat the devil out of it. I'm gonna use a little bit of the white, my clean brush. I'm just gonna real soft add in some of that white into our river. Real soft, real light. Come in here. Use this is a real switch up. I'm gonna use a little bit of pink too, just because I feel like it needs a little bit down in here. Sometimes that little bit of softness works really well. The running pill? Hi. Oh, the running pill. Hi. I'm like so confused sometimes. The running pill. Hello. Welcome. Glad you could join our Bob Ross night. We're coming a little bit to the end. We're going to do a little bit more work on our river here, but I'm pretty happy with it. How are you guys feeling? Hope you're doing good with my work as well. Use a little bit of the ultramarine and just dab in towards the back to kind of deepen that river towards the back. I'm blending it out. I swear most of the painting is just blending and making sure you're happy with it. And it does actually help. So if you're not exactly sure, if you're looking at your painting and you're like, I don't quite like this. Why do I not like this? Quick little trick, take a photo of it with your phone and look at it on your phone. As soon as you do that, almost immediately you will spot what's bothering you about your painting or drawing or whatever. It works really well. I've done that a few times, and I'm actually kind of doing it right now. As I'm looking at Facebook and Instagram from my painting, I'm seeing little parts of it that I'm like, oh, I want to do a little bit more work on this spot or a little bit over here. Oh, this could be better. This could be better. So use the technology, use what you have. It works really well, especially, I mean, and if you don't have a phone or a camera, something's not working, walk away from it like 6 feet. Because everything art-wise that you're going to look at is like 6 feet away anyways. So social distance from your painting and your work, and you'll start to spot those little problems that you don't like about it, and it works. I do this for classes all the time, and I've got amateur people coming in that have never painted before in their life, and they're like, oh, I hate this spot. What is wrong? I'm like, here, we're going to set it over here, far away from us. We're going to get up and take a quick little walk around, and we're going to come back to it, and then you'll spot what it is right away. Really cool. I don't know why it works exactly, but our brains are fascinating, and it works. So, yeah, quick tip, painting tip, or drawing tip, artist tip. Here nor there. So we're going to come back into our river some more, and I'm just blending some more and more and more. Come around in the sky, make a little bit of blue in here.
I'm going to change your light because you're getting a shadow on your.
Just give us a minute with the lighting. We're moving things around a little bit because we're losing our daylight outside. So. It looks nice. Do a little dab in the middle. And blend that out. Use a little bit of yellow too. So we've got yellow in our skyline. So we've got a little bit in there. We've got a little pinks. It is nice having a camera crew that'll go around and make sure you look your best during all of this. Now, if you were working with oil paints, you just pretty much cake it all on there. Cake it in, cake it on, use your paint. Lots of paint. Probably why I like using oils so much is because it's just so messy. You just really get a chance to get in there and get a little crazy. So, thinking it's about 8:12. Typically classes go about 2 hours, so we're pretty much on the mark with this one, guys. Good job. I'm just gonna go in and do a little bit of last minute stuff as I feel it needs. Got our sunlight, got our trees, got some happy little bushes in here, perking around, got some beautiful grass. Beautiful grass, beautiful trees. One thing I always tell people at the very end, you have to do this, especially for your art pieces. You always have to sign it. So I don't have my black, so I'm not going to sign it in black, but I have my burn umber, so I'm going to use that. Once again, told you. It's fun. If you can do it, definitely do it, guys. Clean off my brush a bit. I'm using just a flat tip again. And I'm just going to take the corner in and basically use it kind of like a tiny paintbrush or a pen. I'm going to come down here in the corner and I'm just going to put my initials. Have to sign your work. Be proud of it. You did good. If I had a smaller paintbrush, I'd probably use it, but I'm not about to get up and go get a smaller paintbrush, and who cares? Smaller paintbrush. Camera crew. They're so great. They check on you. make you look pretty. Shout out to them. All right, so we've got my initials. And then I'm going to just write on here 20 underneath, because I do a decent amount of painting and I forget when I did the thing. So this works pretty well, just to kind of give me ideas of when I did the thing. So it's 20. And there we go. That is my Bob Ross. Go ahead. Looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with that. I feel like Bob would be pretty happy with that too. Used a lot of the same techniques that he did during the show. I didn't use the fan brush. Again, I'm sorry. Nobody's chiming in and telling me that I'm wrong about this fan brush, so I'm going to stick to my guns and say the fan brush is no good. You did just as good with our flat brush as they would have done with a fan brush, so I'm sticking with this. So this is what I got. And we've got just enough time. If you're interested, let's go ahead and do a quick little meditation. So I'm going to put on a little bit of music. And then we'll get started. It's just, we'll do like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. It won't be too long. That sounds delightful.
Most people and most businesses
shush.
shoot a video like this.
We don't need.
Everything in life is a negotiation.
Have to have ads, I guess. There we go. Okay. So we've got some nice river sounds. Now, I'd like you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I want you to stretch it out a little bit. Let's get all the wiggles out, especially if you're sitting for a long period of time. You know, the quarantine and everything, I've been sitting for a little bit longer than I probably should a lot, so we're going to just stretch it out a little bit. Okay? Oh, we're going to sit or lay, wherever you are, comfortably. Stretch out your neck. Oh, yeah. Forget how many muscles are in there. What you need to move around. And now I'm going to have you sit, relax, get comfortable. I'd like you to place your hands facing up towards the heavens. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And release. Inhale. Count to 5. Exhale. And do this a couple times. Just inhale. Exhale. Let's get all of the stress out of our bodies and just come to a center. Let's come into this moment. Give ourselves a bit of freedom. Inhale. Hold it and exhale. Just listen quietly. Let your breathing resume to normal. Hear the stream going by, the birds twittering. From where you're sitting or laying, you hear these sounds. And I want you to start to follow them in your mind. Let's walk towards them. A nice, steady, leisurely pace. You can hear the water. As we walk closer to it, we start to feel the sun on our face. You can start to feel the cool grass and damp earth beneath your toes. You can taste that fresh water. You can hear it, that fresh cleanness. Inhale, you start to smell trees, the leaves, the brush. Let's walk a little bit farther, get a bit closer to the river. You can feel the boughs from the pine trees brush over your shoulders. Soft, gentle, like a friend, an old friend putting their hand on your shoulder, welcoming you back. You look down at the water, you can see how clear it is as it rushes by you. It's just happy, lively. Maybe you see a little fish swimming on by. And you're safe. There's no need to worry about anything here. Everyone and everything in these woods are welcoming. They're friends of yours. And they're really happy that you've come to visit them. So let's just breathe and listen to the sound of the river and feel the warmth and friendship just envelop us. Your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just focus on your breathing again. Listen to the water. Listen to your breath. Your body wants to be here. Your body wants to enjoy this moment. Feel the sun radiating on your head. That warmth dripping down your spine. It's a safe, wonderful feeling here. You're always welcome to come back here. You're always wanted here. You're always loved here. Life seems a little stressful, a little bit too much right now. You can always come back. Just breathe. Maybe think of our painting. Think of our happy trees and our strong mountains. They're just reflections of ourselves. We're going to take that happiness and that strength and creativity. I'm going to come back and slowly walk away from our river and say goodbye for now to our tree friends. Slowly walk back to our bodies. Settling back into ourselves. Feeling the stress and the tension just lifted from us. And when you're ready, start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Maybe roll your shoulders. Stretch out your neck. Keep your eyes closed. Just enjoy coming back into your body. And when you're ready, the last thing I'd like you to do is open your eyes and come back all the way. So thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have another class next week. So look for our stuff out on Instagram, out on Facebook. We'll have everything posted. I look forward to seeing you. Have a good night, folks. Stay safe.